Good morning and welcome to Tollcross International Swimming Pool on day 2 of the dual meet this weekend. We will get started shortly, but before we do so, if swimmers could listen to the following health and safety announcement, please. So in the event of an emergency, a siren will sound and the staff will direct you to the nearest exit. Please ensure that you keep all fire exits clear. Take a look around and check where your nearest exits are. There are to be no glass items or outdoor footwear poolside. Swimmers, please note that when you are leaving the poolside, you must dry off and wear appropriate dry clothing and footwear. Please keep the stairways clear and do not sit on the stairs. Swimmers are reminded that there are to be no mobile phones in the changing rooms, toilets or shower areas. Anyone, spectators, coaches, swimmers wishing to take photographs or videos, you must complete the appropriate form, which can be found at the entry desk or at the meet office at the top of the stairs over to my right here. Videos cannot be posted on unsecure websites, but may be posted on secure club websites. So, as I said, we will get started in a few moments. I'd like to welcome all spectators to the pool today. It's great to see the gallery with spectators again, and I also welcome everyone who is watching us on live stream this morning. I hope everybody enjoys the session this morning. So, the officials are now on poolside. Pool 1. I'll introduce you to the referees. Just one moment. So pool 1 is Arlene Tennant. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Start that again. Pool 1. Our referees this morning are Arlene Tennant and Hazel Hastings, and our starter is Ross Stewart. Pool 2. Our referees are Elizabeth Fitzsimmons and Fiona Sinnott, and our starters Stuart Shaw and Lindsay Hamilton. So we'll get started shortly with the 800 meter freestyle.
It's nice to have a new face up here in the commentary position with Jackie and myself this morning. Big thanks to Wendy Kirk from O'Ganbear's Den. Wendy will be with Jackie in pool 2, so we hope that she has a fun session with us. And good luck to all the swimmers this morning. We had some cracking times yesterday, and we're hoping for very much the same today. So this, this morning's session, we start with the 800 freestyle in both pool 1 and in both pool 2. Those of you on the live stream, you would normally expect us to have lap cards for those 800 meters at the boom end. The turns would be on the odd numbers. You'll see that in pool 2, the lap cards are at the boom end, but we have the lap cards at the turn end, which is a wee bit unusual. Swimmers have been notified. They will be turning on the even turns at the start end at pool number 1. There's 8 heats of 800 first up, 4 heats in each pool. And for the morning session, it's mixed 11 to 14-year-olds. We'll then have 400 individual medley after that. In pool number 1, the running order will be 800 free, 400 individual medley for boys, and 400 individual medley for girls. Our running order in pool 2, we have 4 heats of freestyle, which is mixed. We'll then have a heat of boys 400 IM, 1 heat of girls 400 IM, and they get the benefit of doing 100 IM in that bottom pool, 50 butterfly and 50 backstroke, and 100 free. So lots of shorter distances follow at pool number 2. But in pool number 1, the one I'm going to give you the commentary on, it's more distance event. So Jackie and Wendy will be doing a good mixture. I'm just doing 8s and 4s for the morning. So those of you on the live stream, you'll be able to have plenty of time this morning to dash off while some of the races are in progress and not miss very much. If you need to stick the kettle on, keep refreshed. I hope you enjoy the session. We're about to get underway very, very shortly. So just again to reiterate to all the swimmers, just make sure that you're at the marshalling area a good 10 minutes or so before your swims, so that you're slotted into the lanes in plenty time, and we can keep the session running pretty smoothly all day. So the sessions will be a lot shorter today than they were yesterday for those of you with us both at the venue and on the live stream. Yesterday we had the 15 and overs, but this morning it's all swimmers in the younger age group, 11 to 14. So we'll hopefully get maybe finished sometime after 11 o'clock. I don't have a definite finish time, but all being well, if it runs smoothly, we'll get done and dusted in a couple of hours or so. So swimmers now in pool 2, just making their way towards the chairs where they'll leave their gear. Marshall's just checking the swimmers are all there at pool 1 before we get underway. So I know we don't have quite so many people in here today, but please make plenty of noise, give the swimmers lots of encouragement. For all of them, it'll be their first time swimming at Tollcross. Really good experience for them. I say yesterday we had some fantastic swims from everyone, some very, very fast times for some of these youngsters who've never had the opportunity at swimming here before. So it looks as though we're just about ready to get underway in pool 2. So I'll pass you over to Jackie and Wendy, and they'll get the swimmers introduced very shortly. So good luck everyone, have a good day.
So as Robert says, we'll shortly get started in pool 2, and that will be heat 5 of the event 501, the 800 meter freestyle. Just waiting for the start there. So I'll just take the opportunity to introduce the swimmers in this heat. Lane 0, Kyle Mossman, City of Glasgow. 1, Scarlett Wilson, City of Glasgow. 2, George Zabneski, Stranraer Stingrays. 3, Amy Russo, Renfrew Bath. 4, Cameron Hamill, North Ayrshire. 5, Emily Dawson, Milngine Bearsden. 6, Alicia Thompson, Cumbernauld. With no swimmer in lane 7. 8, Jo Carty, City of Glasgow. And 9, Daisy Kelly, Dumfries. And that's the morning's racing started. So as I said, this is an 800 meter for the swimmers this morning. And you'll see that the lap cards are shown to them as they reach the boom end of the pool. Jo Carty looks like he's had a good start, as has Kyle Mossman. Possibly those two are ahead of the field. But also in the centre there, the North Ayrshire swimmer, Cameron Hamill. That's very early stages.
And the action starts in pool 1. First heat has 5 swimmers in lane 2. We have Beth Arnott from Kingston. 3, Madison Gurley from North Ayrshire. 4, Hannah Mitchett from North Ayrshire. And in 5, Kirsty Mather, also North Ayrshire. 6, Kavira Singh from Scotia. Times that these girls are entered in, and 13:20 through to 14:59. It's a mixed event. With 5 girls taking part in this very first one as they come up to the first 50.
So if we look back in pool 2, we have Jo Carty, a 13-year-old from the City of Glasgow, who's ahead of the field. And he's going to turn, doing so in a time of 1:50.40. His entry time this morning, 11:17.78. Over in lane 0, his teammate Kyle Mossman, pulling himself up alongside Jo. But it's Jo that turns just ahead, about half a body length ahead of Kyle. And then in the centre of the pool, the 2 girls, Emily Dawson, Alicia Thompson. Milngine Bearsden, Cumbernauld swimmers. No, I beg your pardon, that's not correct. Sorry, I should be referring to lanes 4 and 5. Cameron Hamill and Emily Dawson have themselves at the moment in 3rd place. It's still Jo Carty. Jo Carty, Kyle Mossman. And Emily Dawson just has the advantage of Cameron, as she's going to turn in 3rd. Jo's time there at the turn, 3:11.31. Emily 3:14.81 and Cameron 3:14.90. So as Joe and Kyle come up to the turn, it's the first 300 meters of their swim this morning completed. And I think that Kyle's moved himself into the front of the field. Look at the time there, 3:51.60. Joe just behind him, 3:52.89.
And a wee update on Pool 1. First 100 metres completed 1:30.09 by swimmer in lane 5, Kirsty Matthew from North Ayrshire. And at the 200 mark, 3:09.38. So all the girls probably settle into a rhythm, whatever pace that may be it 80 seconds, 82 seconds, or whatever for every 100. And it's important that they get into that steady rhythm. Don't push it too much in the early stages. So just keep an eye on Kirsty at 2:50. Oh, that was virtually 50 seconds. So that pace would be around about 100 seconds for each 100. So expect the next turn to be round about the 5-minute mark. Second place, Beth Arnott. Third is Hannah Mitchett and Kavira Singh. Just in 4th position, Madison Gurley in 5th. So for 50.72, my maths an extra 10 seconds over. So we've got a pace of best part of 100 seconds for the leader, and she's settled into a pretty steady rhythm. And we'll pass over to Jackie in Pool 2 for a wee update.
So if we look back to Pool 2, the two City of Glasgow boys, Kyle Mossman in lane 0 and Joe Carty are in 1st and 2nd. Kyle has pulled ahead as he's heading up for the 500 metres to turn there. Then in the centre of the pool, Cameron and Emily continuing to match each other. It's been a little bit of each of them trying to pull ahead, but then the other one responds, and as you can see there, they turn together. But it's Kyle Mossman leading the field. Behind him, Joe Carty, Emily Dawson, Cameron Hamill in the centre of the pool, turning together there in 3rd. And behind them, Amy Russo, the 14-year-old from Renfrew Baths. I think has herself in 4th position. So whether she can catch the two swimmers in the centre to get herself in the mix for the placings here. Kyle is beginning to pull away from his teammate Joe Carty. 3 or 4 body lengths ahead of him now. As the two swimmers in the centre, Cameron and Emily, starting to pull in Joe Carty. Cameron's moved ahead of Emily. Swimming almost alongside Joe. We'll watch to see what happens at the turn here. Turn to, that's Cameron and Joe turning together. What has Emily got to respond? Kyle Mossman leading. Joe still in 2nd place, but Cameron and Emily are not letting him have that to himself. They are making a move now, And reining him in.
So it's no real change in the order. Christie's still going pretty nicely. The head of affairs, 6:30, 1:55 at the halfway mark. Pacing just a little bit over 100 seconds for each 100. And Beth Armit in lane 2 also going very well.
So could we go back to pool 2, and that's Kyle Mossman within, just turned length to go at 700. He's now got 75 meters to go. Behind him, the 3 thrimmers, Joe Carty, Cameron Hamill, Emily Dawson, battling to get themselves into second place. Kyle is continuing to hold them off, however, Emily and Cameron off. As Kyle hears the bell, he's got 50 meters to go. His turn there at 9:54:50. Sorry, I beg your pardon, 48. Joe hears the bell. Cameron, Emily. Cameron is making a move now. He's pulled himself ahead of Emily there in the centre of the pool. He's also ahead of Joe. But over in lane 0, there's no doubt whose race this is. It's Kyle Mossman's as he comes into the closing stages of his race, and the battle is on behind him. Cameron, Joe has responded to Cameron's charge, and these two guys are heading for home. Into the closing stages, but Emily's not letting them have it, or they're on their own way. Oh, Emily got that in 3rd, I think. So I think we're looking at Kyle Mossman, 10:28:99. Behind him, Cameron Hamill, then Joe Carty. Cameron's time, 10:40:85, and Joe, 10:42:14. All significant improvements on their entry times this morning.
So still best part of 150 meters to go. Pace just dropped a little bit for Kirsty at the moment. Still keeping a good pace throughout. (10:48:64). Beth Armit and Hannah Mitchett not that far behind. So 3 girls pretty well bunched here. Beth in lane 2, Hannah in 4, Kirsty in 5. So it's all very tight with 100 to go. 11:37:59. And the Kingston swimmer Beth Armit in lane 2 rather. It's the front. 2 North Ayrshire girls, Hannah and Kirsty, almost together. Teammate Madison Gourley in 3 is 50 back. And Kavira Singh over in 6. Also, she's virtually 2 back. As Beth Armit comes, here's the bell, and she's gone 2 or 3 clear here. A good second half of the race. 2 North Ayrshire girls just dropping back, and Beth Armit really is powering down the final 100 or so, coming well clear. So just 25 to go for the other 2 North Ayrshire girls. But very, very strong swim from Beth. Took it by the scruff of the neck with about 200 and comes home 13:03.10. Anna will be second, 13:11.80, and Kirsty third. Just wait for her time. The other two girls come down with 50 to go. Kirsty 13:14.81.
Okay, and we'll move over to Pool 2 for the second heat in Pool 2, which is Heat 6 of the 800. And in Lane 0, we have Kirsty Conway from Inverclyde. Lane 1, Joanna Calder, Mulgai and Bearsden. Lane 2, Madeline Patterson from Glasgow. Lane 3, Cooper Sloss from North Ayrshire. Lane 4, Chloe Kirk from Mulgai and Bearsden. Lane 5, Keir Sampson from Scotia. Lane 6, Kieran Chan from North Ayrshire. And Lane 7, Amber Winning from Dumfries. Lane 8, Campbell McLean from County Glasgow. And Lane 9, Amber Hilton from Dumfries.
And the other two girls in Pool 1 just finish. Kavira 14:08.90 and Madison 14:10.72. So well done, girls. I think all round excellent personal bests in our first heat.
Okay, and over to Lane 2. So we've got a quite nice spread amongst the pool. But out in front, we have from Glasgow, Madeline Pearson in Lane 2. And getting followed up by Keir Sampson in Lane 5, Scotia. Now the trick to the 800, a lot of these swimmers will never have been able to swim this competitively, so it's a real opportunity for them to put their pacing to work. And in third and fourth, it's now clearing out that we have Cooper Sauce from North Ayrshire and his colleague
And just to lead the action in Lane 2 to give you the swimmers in Pool 1. Our second heat in 0. Brodie Lydon from Kingston. 1, Hannah Adair, North Ayrshire. 2, Daisy McInnes, City of Glasgow. 3, Eva Ross, City of Glasgow. And 4, Amy Rowell, City of Glasgow. 5, Stefan Nashtuk from Stranraer Stingrays. 6, Logan Moffat, Kirkintilloch and Kilsyth. 7 is Samuel Young, North Ayrshire. 8, Luca Chisholm, Ren 96. And in 9, Amy Dobson from Kingston. Times in this second heat ranged from 11:49 through to just over 13 minutes, 13:01. And early leader seems to be Stephens from Stranraer Stingrays in Lane 5. Not far behind is Daisy McInnes from City of Glasgow.
Okay, back over to Pool 2. So we've still got Madeline taking a good head from Glasgow in Lane 2. And Keir still following behind from Scotia. And as I was just saying, we have two teammates, Cooper and Kaylin Chan from North Ayrshire, fighting out for third and fourth. Apologies, that looks like actually Amber from Lane 7 has creeped up there. Yeah, see the, I know I can't see them. I think she might not be.
So coming through in Lane 3 in Pool 1 is Eva Ross, to challenge her teammate Daisy McInnes for that second place. But at the moment, Stefan's just extending that lead a wee bit. Distinct orange cap from Stranraer. Quite a few of these swimmers have experienced swimming at Tollcross before. Stefan certainly has. And he comes down to the 200 mark. 1:14.29 for the first 100. Now turning in 2:35.07. So that pace for that second 100, just over 80 seconds. So we'll see if that pace that he's got into is maintained at the next 100. That would give us a split somewhere just under 4 minutes.
Okay, back over to pool 2, and Madeline's keeping a strong first place out there with Keir continuing to follow up. And then the North Ayrshire swimmers are following behind for third and fourth still. I think by looking at the count, they're going to be coming up very soon for the last 200 meters. So that's Madeline just turned, so that means that she's got 7 left to go. So you'll start to see the swimmers now starting to build up in their pace.
So 300, 3:56.92. So it is pretty steady pace, 81, 82 seconds that Stefan's got it to. Still going very nicely in second place, Eva Ross. Teammate Daisy McInnes in third. And over on the far side, look at Chisholm, Ren 96, getting plenty of encouragement on the Ren team over on that far side.
Okay, over in pool 2, Madeline's still ahead, and the time there was 8:42.22. And her starting time was entry time was 10:56, so making good pace against that. Okay, so that's Madeline now going into the last 100 and leading. Okay, so we're on the last 100, and that's Madeline just now going into the third length. So she will then receive the bell when she's coming to this end, so that she's got only her last 50 to go. Okay, that's Madeline now getting the bell correctly and the last 50. At 9:58.11. So does she have enough in the tank to sprint down in her last 50? Okay, so we're coming down for the last lane, or we have
So back to the action in pool number 1. Halfway mark, 5:19.40 for Stephens. The 500 he's just completed, 6:40.99. At halfway he was around 4.5 seconds clear of Eva Ross, who was well clear in second place. Teammate Daisy McInnes in third. So we'll give you an idea of the gap between Stephens and Eva. turning 7:21.81. It's now increased to just over 6 seconds. So Stranraer looks pretty comfortable. And he was also going pretty well in second place. They're well clear of the rest of the field. Stephens comes in to this on an entry time of 11:55. Eva on 11:59.15. (8:03.84) at 600. Pace just dropped a little bit over the 82, 83 second mark. It was around about the 81, 82 earlier on. And that might just give Eva a little bit of encouragement with 200 to go. She's certainly closing. So 150. We'll see what the gap is. It was around 6 seconds. It's probably about 4 now. It's fraction under 3. So it's certainly everything to play for here if Eva can just put in a little bit over the next 50 or so. Stephen seems to have responded. Still 3 or 4 clear. Daisy turning in third. So got 100 to go. Well, the gap was best part of 3 seconds. It looks as though it's still 3 or more. It's gone up to 3.5, and Stefan's really getting those legs going. As is Eva, both the two swimmers kicking for all they're worth. And Stefan's is now gone about 4 or 5 clear. Stranraer boy looks as though he's got this one wrapped up. So 50 to go, the bell for both these swimmers. 10:02.72. And Emerald being lapped, that gives Stephens that little bit of encouragement, and he's really flying down the final 50. And just finishing off in pool 1, Stephens and Eva both having had it cracking races. Stefan finishes 10:30.40. Eva 10:43.46, taking something like about a minute 15 plus off their entry times. Well done, both swimmers.
And back in pool 2, move on to heat 7. Lane 0, Abigail Hill, Milngavie and Bearsden. 1, Evie Chan, North Ayrshire. 2, Ewan McMahon, Falkirk. 3, Heather Kellock, Dumfries. 4, Emma Binney, North Ayrshire. 5, Reese Edwards, Dumfries. 6, Phoebe Murdoch, North South Ayrshire. 7, Zoe Matchett, North Ayrshire. 8, Kyle Harper, South Ayrshire. And alongside him, Sophie Steele, also South Ayrshire.
Just give you some finish times of the swimmers who have completed the race in pool 1. Daisy McInnes, 11:22.55. Amy Earl, 11:25.39. Look at Chisholm, just come home now, 11:38.12. So great swims from all of them. Another 2 getting home. Logan Muffet, 11:57.34. Samuel Young, 11:50.13. Amy Dobson, 12:02.55. Hannah Adair, 12:08.59. And Brodie Lydon, 12:14.58. So everybody taking a big chunk off their entry times. Well done to all the swimmers in pool number 1 on our second heat.
So move back over to pool 2, and it's the Falkirk swimmer, Ewan McMahon, who's just leading the field, or he was until that turn. Rhys Edwards from Dumfries had a good turn there, and he's just got himself just ahead of the field. But him and you.
So just give you the swimmers in pool 1 in our third heat in 0. Keir Russell, Cumbernauld. 1, Kate Stewart, North Ayrshire. 2, Logan Russell, Cumbernauld. 3, Finlay Hiddleston, Dumfries. 4, Cole Murphy, City of Glasgow. 5, Carla Black, Dumfries. 6, Clark Maitland-Gill from Inverclyde. 7, Evan McCauley, Airdrie Monklands. 8, Ella Dobson, Kingston. And 9, Lauren Peckover, North Ayrshire. Times 11:30 through to 11:43.
Back in pool 2, the swimmers have completed the first 200 metres of their race, and it is the Falkirk swimmer, Ewan McMahon, who's leading the field. Just behind him, Rhys Edwards from Dumfries. And I think in third, it's the two girls either side of Rhys Edwards. Phoebe Murdoch from South Ayrshire. And Emma Binney from North Ayrshire, who are in third place. Also looking over to lane 1, Evie Chan is swimming well. Got herself up there alongside the girls in third place. So it's Ewan McMahon leading the field, as he turns first there, closely followed by Rhys Edwards. And I think it was just Emma Binney who turned there in third. So as Wendy was saying earlier, not often these swimmers will have had the chance to swim an 800 metres competitively. They'll have to make sure they get their pacing right. It is something that competitively they don't get chance to practice often. And Ewan and Rhys turning together there, closely followed by Emma and Evie and Phoebe just behind Emma. Ewan and Rhys matching each other as they turn together. The time there, 5:06.99. These boys entered. Ewan's entry time was 10:31.02 and Rhys 10:20.34.
Just give you a wee update on pool 1. 1:14.16 the first 100, 2:38 split at the 200. So that pace for that second 100, round about 83.5 seconds. Very little between Ella Dobson over in lane 8 and 4 Cole Murphy. Ella just, I think, fractionally ahead, not much, about half a second. And quite a number of swimmers. Lauren Peckover over the far side. Clark Maitland-Gill in lane number 6. In lane 1, Keir Russell. And in lane 3, Finlay Hiddleston was not all that far behind. So we're coming down to 300. Get an idea of the pace here. Certainly a little bit slower than Stephens in the previous 4:03.33. So around about an 84. So we've settled into a rhythm. But this is a little bit slower than the previous heat, where Stephens finished 10:38.
So back in pool 2, and the leaders here, Ewan McMahon turning there. He's got 250 meters to go. Behind him, Reese Edwards. And then the three girls, Emma Binney, Evie Chan, and Phoebe Murdoch. It was Emma just turned ahead of those two girls. We had to call it just now. It would be Emma, Evie, and Phoebe. But the two boys, Ewan and Cameron. Leading the field here. It is Ewan who's going to turn first. His time there, 7:42.16. Just about a second and a half behind him, Reese Edwards, 7:43.84. And behind him, Emma Binney, 7:49.00. So Emma's just beginning to pull ahead and get herself, but Evie's matching her. We're watching now lanes 1 and 4. But Phoebe's not letting go. As Reese pulling himself up to match Ewan. But it is Ewan turning first there. And less than just a second behind him, Reese Edwards. So Reese is beginning to pick up the pace now. But I think in third place it's Emma, closely followed with Evie. We've got 125 meters to go. And Ewan and Reese come up to the turn. They have 4 lengths of this pool still to complete. Ewan's keeping himself ahead of the field. Reese has just dropped back a little bit now. What has he got in the last 75 meters to try and catch Ewan and get himself ahead of the field? Behind the boys, it's Emma Binning and Evie Chan. Phoebe just beginning to fall away a little bit there at the turn. As Ewan and Reese hear the bell. They've got 2 lengths to go. Final stages of their race this morning. As they both begin to turn up the heat, the pace, and come up to the final turn to look to head for home. Reese is beginning to move himself up there. The boys turn together. It's a battle going on between Reese and Ewan as they head for home. They've got less than 12 meters to go. Final stages of their race this morning. And that was Ewan just got the touch there, just ahead of Reese. Behind them, the 2 girls, Emma Binning, Evie Chan, both from North Ayrshire. Who's going to touch there? I think that was Emma. Got herself held off Evie. Less than a second, 300ths of a second between those 2 girls. Two hundredths of a second between Ewan and Reese. Very closely fought race there for the places. As we move on to heat 8, the final heat in pool 2 of the 800-meter freestyle.
Well, while all that action was happening in pool 2, we've had a bit of action over in pool 1. Ella Dobson has been going pretty steadily throughout, but Lauren Peckover from North Ayrshire has just been just picking up a little bit in each 50 and has just pulled ahead. She's gone about half a metre clear. Cole Murphy has dropped back quite a bit into 3rd place. Well, the advantage now with the North Ayrshire girl, she's got about a second advantage.
Okay, we kick off in pool 2 with the final heat of the 800s. Lane 0, Cassie Riper from Glasgow. Lane 1, Emma Silcock from Falkirk. Lane 2, Aaron Macken from Glasgow. Lane 3, Eva Gordon from Stirling. Lane 4, Tom Jeffords, Ren 96. Lane 5, Carls Mooney from Glasgow. Lane 6, Sophie Alison from Western Bartonshire. Lane 8, Alison Cumming from Glasgow. And lane 9, Roy Turnhan from Mogai and Bearsden.
Well, a wee bit to go, another 50 or so. Can we have a cracking finish? Can Isla Dobson find something special? Lauren Peckover still looks as though she's got plenty in the tank. A very, very good turn by Lauren, and she's certainly made a bit of daylight. She's got well over a second advantage out that turn, and just beginning to pull away now. She's gone about 4 clear. Isla Dobson and Cole Murphy are going to finish second and third. A very, very good swim from the North Ayrshire girl. Just gradually built it up from halfway, and although Isla's fighting back, Lauren takes that. Cracking swim, girls. 10:52.49. Isla 10:53.68. Cole Murphy 11:02.76. So Cole improves his time by almost half a minute. Isla improves by about 50 seconds, and Lauren also by a good 50 seconds. So some cracking swims we've seen already in pool number 1. Slowest time in that, 11:22.65 for Kate Stewart. Logan Russell 11:22.61. And even those times are much faster than their entry time, so well done everyone.
Okay, and back over to lane pool 2. So we have 2 front runners here in lane 4 and lane 5. That's Tom Jeffords and Carls Mooney. Carls from Glasgow and Tom from Ren 96. Now interesting, this is the first heat that we have 4 swimmers with entry times under the 10 minutes. So that's Eva Gordon, Tom Jeffries, Carls Mooney and Sophie Allison, lane 3, 4, 5 and 6, are trying to go for that under 10 minutes.
So on to just introduce our swimmers in heat 4 in pool 1. In 0, Ewan Nelson from Cumbernauld. 1, Cameron Beck, Inverclyde. 2, Anna Campbell, City of Glasgow. 3, Logan MacDonald, Motherwell and Wishaw. 4, Blair Wilson, Stirling Swim. 5, Kyle Connolly, City of Glasgow. 6, Susanna Curran from Kilmarnock. 7, Sarah Dunn, City of Glasgow. We have an empty lane in 8, and Katie Watson, City of Glasgow. Times in the swim range from 11:20 through to 11:30. So let's see if we have a tight contest. We certainly have an early leader in Kyle Connolly, City of Glasgow. So coming down to the 150 mark at the moment, Kyle Connolly and Blair Wilson. Pool clear so far. Third place, Logan MacDonald, Malone Wishaw. And Kyle Connolly, I'm sure, will enjoy doing this distance event. Certainly the youngster has performed pretty well in distance events at the districts in the past. And a few years back, I think on a 400 free, he managed to get a short course district record. No less. In fact, I think it was a Scottish record that he took from no less than Stefan Kravitz, the Slovenian swimmer. And you can see just how strong the start he's had. He's gone best part of 10, 12 metres clear from Blair Wilson, Logan MacDonald and Susanna Curran in third and fourth. So come down to the 250 mark. Cal turns 3:07:02. Let's see what the gap is time-wise. Blair Wilson now turning 3:16:68. So the gap almost 10 seconds as we return to the action in Pool 2.
Okay, over in Pool 2, we have Tom still out in the lead there and pulling away a little bit more from cars there in lane 5 from Glasgow. And then we've got a battle in the rest of the pool for third and fourth. Coming in there, we have Eva Gordon against Sophie Allison. And not far behind, we have Casey Viper in lane 0 from Glasgow. And as Tom comes down the pool side, he's just about to turn for his last 200. So we'll have a look at the time of his turn. That's Tom turning at 7:08.22 with Carl's not far behind at 7:10.91. Both good strong times to bring them in below the 10 for their full 800.
So it's no doubt that Kyle Connor looks an absolute certainty to take our fourth heat. Very interesting behind. We've now got in lane 3 Logan MacDonald, who's just gone ahead of Blair Wilson, and Susanna Curran also still there. So the race is very much second, third and fourth. It's Kyle at the halfway mark, 5:03:14.
And over in Pool 2, Tom's still in the lead there. And that'll be Tom coming up now for his last 100, so he'll be looking to pick up the pace. And now we see who's got the energy in the tank to pull it off for the last 100. And that was Tom turning for 8:21.16 and 8:24, 3 seconds behind from Carl's. Now to me the real battle here is for third, fourth and fifth, where we have Casey in lane 0 pulling out, but chasing lane 3 with Eva Gordon from Stirling and Sophie Allison from Weston Barton. And that's Tom hearing the bell for the last 50. So Tom Karras racing down the pool for their now last 25 with Tom. Making good time there. But this is Tom's swim, has held it from the start and finishes in with a 9:32. Which is a great PB on his 9:41 entry time. In fact, all 4 swimmers making great PBs against their entry times. And that's Eva Gordon just coming in for third. Unless Sophie can catch her. But no, Evie's got it. And then Sophie in for fourth. And then we have Casey in lane 0 for 5th. Good swims. And apologies there, Alice Cumming actually came in 3rd there in lane 8 with a 9:58.43, which is an excellent PB on her entry time of 10:13.70.
So just popping back over to pool 1. Still Kyle Connolly well clear in this one. Logan McDonald also well clear in 2nd. The race very much on for 3rd. It's been nip and tuck between Susanna and Blair. But, it looks as though Blair Wilson is getting his 2nd win, just trying to pull away. Kyle Connolly almost ready to lap both those two swimmers. So 100 meters to go for the leader. Likely to finish somewhere around the 10:02, 10:04 range, I suspect. 8:52, 32. If we can find something special. Try and get inside 10:05. Now Susanna's got the bit between her teeth again, and she's pulled into 3rd place again ahead of Blair. And Kyle, between them, passes both. Logan McDonald still well clear in 2nd. And the bell ringing now for Kyle. Well, around 38 seconds there for that last 50. Still Susanna just shades Blair for that 3rd place off the turn. It's likely to be somewhere around 10:05, 10:06. Now just there we are, 10:06.62. And the bell for both Susanna and for Blair. Susanna half a second in it, and the race is certainly on. Blair into 2nd, and Logan McDonald comes down. And he'll finish his race very strongly indeed. Logan finishes in 10:30.98. Takes around 45 seconds off his time, and it is going to be Blair Wilson, who's just, I think, going to sneak in and get 3rd place, just ahead of Susanna. 10:48.64, 10:49.18. And both taking another big chunk off those entry times. Kyle Connolly improving his time by well over a minute, about a minute and 16, 17 seconds. So well done to City Glasgow lad. And well done everyone completing those 800s. Just we mentioned that there is some open water if you want to have a bash at some open water swimmers. Our Scottish National Open Water is on the 4th of July at Monarchy in Tayside. We also have the Midlands event on Saturday the 30th. Those, certainly the Scottish one probably on the Scottish website. The Midlands, look to the Midlands or Scottish Swimming for that one. And the West District one, which is our one, is Saturday the 13th of August. That will be appearing on the web page probably in the next week or so. Plenty of time to get those entries in. And it's always an exciting day to go and do some open water. No pressure. You get some lovely weather sometimes, and get your mum and dad to take you, have a picnic and just have a nice day out. You might even have me commentating. That's the worst bit, folks. So just to let you know, there was the disqualification, Cameron Beck, in that last heat for a technical infraction. So that's the open water advert for this morning done and dusted. We now move on to 400 individual medley at both ends of the pool. This is the boys' event.
So event 502, pool 2, heat 3. This is the boys 11 to 14, 400 meter IM. And in the pool, lane 0, Rory Duncan, South Ayrshire. No swimmer in lane 1. 2, Mark Watchorn, Scotia. 3, Fraser Cowie, North Ayrshire. 4, Aaron Machin, City of Glasgow. 5, Dylan McShane, City of Glasgow. 6, Stephens Nasiuk, Stranraer. 7, Benji Jeffries, South Ayrshire. Empty lane 8. And 9, Joe Jameson, South Ayrshire. And although you'll probably not hear me, but we do have a birthday boy in the pool. Mark Watchorn from Scotia. Happy birthday to him. We'll remember to do that as the race finishes for him, so he can hear us. But at the moment, it is Fraser Cowie, North Ayrshire, just holding Mark in second place as Fraser finishes his first 100 metres of this 400 IM this afternoon. And Fraser and Mark moving into the backstroke. So the youngest swimmer here.
Just introduce our swimmers for our 400 in pool 1, our first heat. In 2, Lewis Brave, Inverclyde. 3, Jack Kiverian from Ren 96. 4, Ollie Jeffers, also Ren 96. 5, Finlay Hiddleston, Dumfries. And 6, Finlay Maurice from Inverclyde. We do hope that our pronunciations are a wee bit better today. Quite a range of challenges we had yesterday. If we've got it wrong, our apologies. We hopefully got it correct today. We've been round and just checking with the coaches as best we can. Lewis Bray off to a good start, 39.93 in the butterfly section.
And we move back to pool 2. 200 metres have been completed by Fraser, and he's ahead of the field as we move into the breaststroke. Behind him is Mark Watchorn, and behind in third at the moment is the City of Glasgow swimmer, Dylan McShane. So the youngest swimmer in the pool this morning is Stephens from Stranraer. He's 11, and the age up to 14. The entry times here from 5:32.40 to 6:12.24. And Fraser has used the last 50 metres to stamp his mark on this race this morning and is pulling ahead of Mark. Very often the breaststroke section of an IM will see a change of order, or the distances between swimmers beginning to increase, and as we can see, Fraser has really pulled ahead now as he comes down to complete this section of his IM. Behind him, Mark and then Dylan. Behind them was Aaron in lane 4. Aaron's just come out of a 800 metre. And behind Aaron, the South Ayrshire swimmer, Benji Jeffries. So we'll see what those boys can do. But there's no doubt at the moment who is in 1, 2 and 3. It's Fraser, Cowie, Mark Watchorn and Dylan McShane, 1, 2 and 3.
Just a quick update. Lewis Bray in 2 and in 6. Finlay Maurice had good butterfly sections, but the other 2 boys, Jack Keelan and Ollie Jeffers, 2 Wren lads, had the better on the backstroke. We now move on to the breaststroke at halfway, 3:09.06. And there's about 2 seconds between all 4 boys, so certainly a good race developing in Pool 1.
And if we look back in Pool 2, as Fraser's he's heading for home. He's got half a length to go, well ahead of Mark. And Fraser's going to complete his race this morning, touching first in a time of 5:16.85. In behind him is the Scotia swimmer Mark Watchorn. His time 5:28.13. With Dylan coming in third, 5:32.73. As I said earlier, it's Mark's birthday today, so we wish him all the best.
Jackie's not going to sing happy birthday, is she not? Don't think so. Never mind. Well, Finlay Maurice really got going again on the breaststroke, as has Lewis Bray. So the 2 Wren boys have dropped back on the breaststroke section. It's a change of order again. And Finlay will want to try and just extend that slight advantage he has over Lewis. Well, the 2 Inverclyde boys really got to work on the breaststroke. Something Inverclyde are very good at developing excellent breaststroke swimmers. And Finlay and Lewis, oh, it's race on, guys. 4:57.75, 4:58.07. Well, Lewis and Finlay, not much to choose. Ollie Jeffers has his work cut out to try and close that gap. He's in third place, 4 or 5, good 4 or 5 metres back. And there's still nothing between the 2 Inverclyde boys. I think it's still Finlay with a slight advantage. 50 to go. It's Finlay just with that slight advantage. There's nothing in it. Again, off the turn. Well, it's almost the same advantage point, 3-1. But here comes Lewis attacking Finlay down the final stretch. They won't be able to quite see exactly how far one another are away from one another. Off the turn again, nothing in it. I think Finlay just ahead. Finishing very strongly is Finlay Hiddleston from Dumfries to get into third place. He won't catch the 2 boys. It's going to be Finlay, I think, that takes this. Oh, it's tight. Oh, Lewis. Oh. Well, Lewis has faster time on the board, but we'll just wait for our officials to confirm that. Well, just we delayed Pool 2, so I can just confirm that was Lewis Bray 6:19.52, Finlay Maurice 6:19.83. Well done, lads.
Okay, and over in pool. Two pools starting at one time there. Now over in pool 2. And this is event 503, the girls 400 IM. So in lane 0, we have Sophie Gibson of South Ayrshire. Lane 1, Emma Barrowman from Strathar. We have lane 2, Katie Towers in lane 3. No swimmer in lane 3. Lane 4, Alison Cummings from Glasgow. Lane 5, Leah Rafferty, Western Bartonshire. Lane 6, Kaylin Chan, North Ayrshire. Lane 7, Sophie Steele, South Ayrshire. Lane 8, Rebecca Strachan, Lark Hall. Lane 9, Cara White, Wren 96. And I'll let my colleague take over and announce the starters for Pool 1.
Thank you, Wendy. In lane 0, we have Brodie Lydon, Kingston. 1, Finlay Bennett, Rutherglen. 2, Callan Forsyth, South Ayrshire. 3, Hamish Maxwell, also South Ayrshire. 4, Cole Murphy, City of Glasgow. 5, Ife Ukupulu from South Ayrshire. 6, Murray Johnston, Wren 96. Empty lane in 7. 8 is Ryan Crabb, Wren 96. And 9, Joe Carty, City of Glasgow. Times in this 6:15 through to 6:42. And Effie, 1:19.96, has about second and a half advantage over Joe. And in third place, Finlay Bennett.
Okay, and over in pool 2, we have Alice Cummings taking a nice lead in the 100 fly and now into her second 50 of the back. And in particularly impressive because she has just finished the 800 as well, and not just 2 events there. So taking a good strong lead. She does have the strongest entry time by about 20 seconds. But then the battle will be on for second, third and fourth, where we have between lane 1, Emma Barrowman from Strathar, Leah Rafferty in 5, and Kaylin Shan in 6. With lane 7, Sophie Steele making a play there to come into that battlefield as well. So that's Alice, just finished her back with a split time there of 2:3. I didn't see the time on that, so okay, and behind her is Leah Rafferty, Western Bartonshire. And then Emma Barrowan from Strathar in lane Stranraer, sorry, in lane 1.
So we've gone halfway. It's Effie with the advantage, but this can all change now on the breaststroke section. Finlay Bennett got into the mix here, and he's now struck the front over the far side. Joe Carty looks as though he's gone second. Effie Ukupulu drops back to third, and Effie's teammate in lane 4 coming through. In lane 3, rather, Hamish Maxwell to challenge Finlay, and over the far side, Joe really pulling away in the breaststroke.
Okay, and over in pool 2, this is really Alison's event just now, but we've got a great battle going on here between lane 5 with Leah and Emma in lane 1. But we've also got in lane 6, Caitlin making a charge there. And as we switch over to the freestyle, last 100 of this event. Okay, and here comes Alice to finish this off into our last 50. And her split time there is, our time total is 4:47.12. Followed by second in lane 5, we have Leah. And Emma just turning there in lane 1.
Just quickly to give you an update, Finlay Bennett well clear at the moment from Joe Carty. And third place looks to be Hamish Maxwell. Will return to pool 2 for the final stage.
Okay, and that's Alison just touching in. Well done, great swim. At 5:23.99. And Leah in second place. And Emma coming in for third in lane 1. And then the battle for fourth looks like it's lane 6 with Kaylin Chan. Well done, girls. Great swimming there.
So just closing stages of pool 1, heat 4. It's Finlay Bennett coming through to take this. Cracking swim from Finlay, 5:47.25 in lane 9. Joe Carty takes second, 5:53.51. And a very strong finish in lane 3 from the South Ayrshire swimmer, 6:00.13. And a blanket finish for 4, 5, 6, 7. Alan Forsyth, Cole Murphy, Ify Ukpulu, and Buddy Johnston separated by barely 2.5 seconds, 6:09.87, 6:10.40, 6:11.71 and 6:12.32 respectively. Results for that 800 free for the girls 11-year-olds. First was Amber Hinton from Dumfries, 2 Kavira Singh from Scotia, in a 12-year-old age group. First Evie Cham, North Ayrshire. Second Ava Ross, City Glasgow. Third Chloe Kirk, Mulgine-Bearsden. The 13-year-olds Madeline Patterson, City Glasgow. Sophie Allison, Western Bartonshire. Emma Silcock, Falkirk Otter. And
So we move on to event 601 in pool 2. This is the mixed 15 and over 100 IM. We have 4 heats of this morning, and heat 1 is now in the pool. In lane 2, Connie Heron, Adrian Monklands. 3, Chris Harvey, Scotia. 4, Evie McCulloch, Ren 96. 5, Alexander Kloska. 6, Christy Bell. 7, Emily Miller, all Adrian Monklands. And after the first 50, it is lane 2, I think, just turned there, in a time of 37.35, Connie Heron. As we move into the breaststroke, and let's see if the placings change here.
Those results I've just announced. Could the swimmers not collect medals? We've just got to confirm those times. Those are pending. I'll give you an update as soon as I've been told that they're okay.
And so moving back over to pool 2.
We'll let Jackie get started in a wee minute, but we'll give you the swimmers in our first of the 3 heats for the girls 400 IM.
So heat 1 in pool 2, that's the results. Connie Heron first, Alexander Kloska second, and Chris Harvey third.
So in lane 1, Neve Moore, Western Bartonshire. And we'll give them shortly. Back to pool 2.
Okay, and on to heat 2 of the 100 IM. So lane 0, Abby Stevenson, South Ayrshire. Lane 1, Sarah Ferry, Stirling. Lane 2, Chloe Mason, Glasgow. Lane 3, Luke Gardner, Ren 96. Lane 4, Laura Brown, Adrian Mucklands. Lane 5, Sanja Gwakwan. That one is a hard one to say, apologies. Guanawakrama from Glasgow. Lane 6, Lewis McDonald, Motherwell. Lane 7, Claudia Daljo, Adrian Munklands. Lane 8, Ali von Moiler from Glasgow. And lane 9, Samantha Gardner. So let's see what's happening over here. Okay, we're on to the breaststroke, and we have lane 6, Lewis McDonald from Motherwell taking a small lead over lane 3, Luke Gardner. So on to the last lane here, just looking at finishing this one off. It looks like it is Lewis's race, who's coming in to finish that, with Luke chasing, and then we have the Glasgow girl in lane 5, Sanja, looking to take third place. So that was correct. We had Luke with 1:15, taking that race well. And over to pool 1.
So the swimmers in pool 1 in 1, Niamh Moore, Western Bartonshire. 2, Hannah McCaig, South Ayrshire. 3, Charlotte Craig, round 96. Swimmers in 4, Erin Lammy. 5, Lucy Taylor. 6, Ava Steele for Lanark and Falkirk respectively. 7, Angela Pavry, City Glasgow. And 8, Connie Hart from South Ayrshire. Anjavi Pavry is going really well. It's got commanding advantage. Lucy Taylor in second place. So halfway mark, and Johnny 3:02.69 is a nice advantage over Lucy Taylor and Charlotte Craig in second and third. Advantage best part of 10 seconds.
And back over to pool 2. This is heat 3, lane 0. Cassia Mancini, South Ayrshire. 1, Emily Taylor, South Ayrshire. 2, Grace Noonan, Milngavin Bearsden. 3, Murray McGregor, Rutherglen. 4, Holly Hopkins, South Ayrshire. 5, Catherine Simpson, South Ayrshire. 6, Erin Collins, Grangemouth. 7, Amy Watson, South Ayrshire. 8, Ross McGee, Rutherglen. And 9, Catherine Taylor, South Ayrshire. And lane 2, Grace Noonan, 15-year-old from Milngavin Bearsden, is leading the field as she comes into the final turn. Lane 8, Ross McGee, turns second. Battle for third. Tight, I think that was lane 4. Maybe not. I think that was actually Murray McGregor that turned third there, as Grace Noonan finishes her race this morning in a time of 1:11.36, followed behind her Ross McGee, 1:14.23. And looks like Catherine Simpson touched third, from South Ayrshire. Her time there, 1:17.45. That's the results confirmed. Grace Noonan, Ross McGee, Catherine Simpson, 1, 2 and 3.
So still over in pool number 1. And Jolly going really well after the breaststroke section. Pulled further and further away. She's probably about 20 metres clear now. Charlotte Craig and Lucy Taylor look to be comfortable second, third in pool 1 as we turn to pool 2.
Okay, and on to the last heat of the 100 IM. In lane 0, we have Caitlin Hamilton, Lanark. Lane 1, Freddie Mills, Stirling. Lane 2, Callum Trainer, Stirling. Lane 3, Ross Carswell, Lanark. Lane 4, Andrew Mackenzie, Stirling. Lane 5, Benjamin Jones, Lanark. Lane 6, Ian Henderson, Lanark. Lane 7, Ben Grant, Glasgow. Lane 8, Gregor Bryson, Adrian, and no swimmer, lane 9. So we're on to the breaststroke. And we have lane 4, Andrew Mackenzie, who does have the fastest entry time for this, taking an early lead there in, touching in to going into his freestyle. And then we have a battle in lane 8 and lane 5, Andrew and Gregor, to see who can then come back for the second and third. It looks like we have Gregor in lane 5 looking to take the number 2. Yep. And ooh, I think lane 8. So that's the finals confirmed there. Andrew with a 1:06, Mackenzie taking that race, with Benji following in second, and then Gregor in third.
Just returning to the confirmed 1, 2, 3. Really very good swim there from the City of Glasgow girl, Anjali Pavri. Takes the heat in 6:22.06, takes almost a minute off her entry time. Second was Charlotte Craig, 6:39.36, and Lucy Taylor, 6:47.47. In third place, also improved on their entry times. Well done, girls. And to heat 2 in pool 1. Those results that I read out for the 11, 12 and 13-year-old girls freestyle are good. I'll give you some more shortly.
Pool 2, event 6:02, the boys 15 and over, 50-metre butterfly. Heat 1, lane 1, Alexander Klosser. 2, Ben Grant. 3, Ian Henderson. 4, Misha Nazorov. 5, Reese Hamilton. 6, Lewis McDonald. 7, Luke Gardner. And 8, Chris Harvey. And in the centre of the pool, it's Misha Nazorov who has the lead, several body lengths ahead of the rest of the field, and he's going to touch first. Behind him, there is a battle for second. Look, maybe lane 5, I think. Yes, I think that was Reese Hamilton, the Milngine Bears Den swimmer, coming in third. We'll look to the scoreboard. And Misha's time there, 29.39, sees him first. Reese Hamilton, 33.12. Lewis McDonald, 33.94. That's your 1, 2, and 3.
14-year-old girls 1, 2, 3 for the 800 free. Caris Mooney first, Alice Cummings second, both City of Glasgow, and Eva Gordon, Stirling Swim. And the boys, 11-year-olds, first Stefan Nushtak, Stranraer Stingrays, Brodie Lydon, Kingston in second. Twelve-year-olds were Aaron Machin, Cooper Schloss, Kyle Harper. 13-year-olds, Tom Jeffers, Kyle Connolly, and Kyle Mossman. And finally, our 14-year-old freestyle, Keir Sampson, Scotia, Ewan McMahon, Falker Otter, and Rhys Edwards at Dumfries.
Okay, in pool 2, this is event 2. We've got Abby Stevenson, Christy Bell, Alex McCluskey, no swimmer, lane 4, lane 5, Chloe Masson, and 4 and 6, Freya McRoberts. Okay, this looks quite tight. So we have anybody's goal from lane 3, 4, and 5. Sorry, lane 4, lane 3, and 5 and 6 for first, but we had lane 3, which is Alex McCluskey with 40. 40.76. And then Chloe behind at 41.53 and Freya 52.51 of 1, 2 and 3.
Heat 2 of our girls 400 IM in 0. Abigail Fagan from Ren 96. In lane 1, Carla Black, Dumfries. 2, Caris Crawford, Scotia. I'll read the rest shortly.
Back in pool 2, heat 2, lane 0, Sanjana Gunnar-Wickrama, 1, Amy McGregor, 2, Eva Fair, 3, Isla Cochran, 4, Grace Noonan, 5, Connie Heron, 6, Catherine Taylor, 7, Macy Law, 8, Sarah Ferry, and 9, Amy Watson. And after the turn, lane 7, Macy Law, had a good turn there. She's leading the field, but she's not going to have this all her own way. Over in lane 3, lane 4, these girls are coming back at her, and it's going to be lane 3 touched first there. Ayla Cochran, 34.46. Behind her, Grace Noonan, 35.02. And Amy McGregor from Western Bartonshire, 36.26, completes your 1, 2 and 3.
Carrying on the swimmers in lane 3. Emily Chong, City Glasgow. 4, Heather Kellett, Dumfries. 5, Charlotte Borland, South Ayrshire. 6, Inga Cummings, South Ayrshire. 7, Daisy Kelly, Dumfries. 8, Orlith Jeffrey, Lanark. And 9, Amy Dobson, Kingston. Well, it's been Inga with the advantage so far. We're on the backstroke section. Emily Chong has got up sides. Key section now, the breaststroke, and Emily getting to work. Maybe going half a metre clear. Very close in third place. Lane 2, Caris Crawford, Heather Kellogg. Heather just probably shades that third place at the moment. Well, there's a bit of body line still between the two swimmers at the head of affairs, Inga and Emily. Emily still with a slight advantage. Caris Crawford did turn in third place at that turn, but a much better turn out the turn by Heather Kellogg. So the advantage with 50 of breaststroke still to go is the best part of a second and a half plus. And this might just give Emily the race if she can just motor on a wee bit more. Give her a good advantage before we transfer on to freestyle. Heather Kellogg well in third.
Okay, and in pool 2 we move over to event 604, the boys 15 and over, 100 metres backstroke. Lane 0, Jamie McLaughlin, Lanark. Lane 1, Murray McGregor, Rutherglen. Lane 2, Lewis McDonald, Motherwell. Lane 3, Ross Carswell, Lanark. Lane 4, Logan Smith, Motherwell. Lane 5, Gregor Branson, Adrian Monklands. Lane 6, Abu Mufti in Glasgow. Lane 7, Michael Andrews, South Ayrshire. Lane 8, Magnus Morris, Ren 96. And lane 9, Michael Winsip, Glasgow.
Just quickly
and at the turn there, we had Logan Smith. But in lane 7, we've got Michael Andrews, South Ayrshire, starting to pull away there. So it looks like it's going to be Michael Andrews' swim here. And then lane 4, we have Logan taking number 2.
And just jumping to pool 1, we've had a really cracking swim now from Inga. She was a little bit further back, but she stormed in the final 25 to take the heat, just ahead of Emily. An elite finish for Heather to get pretty close to those two. Inga takes that 3:56.27. Don't yet have the times for the other two girls. And coming in 4th, Daisy Kelly. 5th, Carla Black and Candice Crawford, I think, in 6th. The scoreboard pad's not registering those times. And pool 1.
And back to pool 2. Just to confirm the finish order of that previous heat, it was Michael Andrews, South Ayrshire, Michael Winship, City of Glasgow, and Magnus Morris, Ren 96, 1, 2, and 3. We'll now move on to event 605, the girls 15 and over 100-metre backstroke. We have 3 heats this morning, as the officials are just putting in the backstroke starts, and we'll get this race underway. After these 3 heats, we then move on to the faster 50-metre breaststroke for boys and girls, 15 and over.
Well, heat 3 is underway. I'll give you the swimmers. In lane 0, Sophie Gibson. 1, Emma Barrowman. Sorry. We'll start this one after we get pool 2 underway.
So, heat 1 of 3, event 605 in pool number 2. We have 3 swimmers. Lane 3, Ayla von Moller, City of Glasgow. 4, Evie McCulloch, Ren 96. And 5, Sarah Armstrong, Grangemouth.
Just for your notice, Mark Watchhorn, if it didn't come through clearly on the live stream or in the gallery, Mark Watchhorn, happy birthday, 14 today from Scotia.
So if we go back to pool 2, as the girls come up to the 75-metre mark and head for home, it's Sarah Armstrong, the 15-year-old from Grangemouth, who's leading the field, ahead of Ayla von Moller and then Evie McCulloch. And Sarah comes in to the final stages of her race. Her entry time here this morning, 1:30.31. See what she's achieved. And she has beaten that, 1:29.63. Ayla von Moller second and Evie McCulloch third. For all girls, an improvement on their entry time.
So the swimmers in our final heat, our 3rd heat. In 0, Anna Campbell, City Glasgow. 1, Ella Cunningham, City Glasgow. 2, Abigail Crawford, City Glasgow. 4, Honor McCartney, Inverclyde. Empty lanes in 4 and 5. In 6, we have Eva Brackenridge, Cumbernauld. 7, Emily Dickens, City Glasgow. 8, Megan Mulhern, Adrian Monklands. And 9, Amber Hinton from Dumfries. Well, lanes 2 and 7 on this backstroke section have been virtually together. Abigail Crawford and Emily Dickens turning in 3:47.40 and 58 respectively. Emily just shades it. Over to pool 2.
Okay, if we start over in pool 2 with the second heat of the 100 back, we have lane 1, Freya McRoberts, Dumfries. We have lane 2, Claudia Dalcho and Adri Monklins. No swimmer, lane 3. Lane 4, Sanja Gunawitrama, Glasgow. Lane 5, Sarah Ferry Sterling. Lane 6, Laura Carrigan, Ren 96. Lane 7, Stella McConnell, Renfrew. And lane 8, Mary Law Danoon. Sorry, that was Macy Law Danoon.
Abigail Crawford having the best of the breaststroke from Emily. She's gone about 4 or 5 clear.
Yeah, and over in pool 2, this is looking quite tight. Front runners, I think, are in lane 4 and lane 5 there. So Sanjana and Sarah, but very close behind by Claudia and Laura, with Sarah just taking the edge there in lane 5. Yep, this looks like Sarah's going to make it in to take this event, or this heat. Yep, Sarah's finishing there, and then Sanja second. Sarah finishing with a 1-2-5, or sorry, 1-2-3-3-5. And Sanjay at 1-2-3-27. Just waiting for that formal. Yep, Sarah at 1-2-2. Sanjana at 1-2-3-2-7. And then Claudia 1-2-3, just behind 0.7.
Well, last closing stages of our last heat in pool 1. No doubt Abigail Crawford with that good breaststroke section, just building on that in the freestyle. Well clear of her teammate Emily Dickens over in lane 7. So just 10 metres or so to go. Abigail Crawford's going to take her final heat from Emily Dickens.
And back in pool 2, moving on to the final heat of event 605. Lane 0, Iona Little, Grangemouth. 1, Amy McGregor, West Dunbartonshire. 2, Eva Fair, Milngavie Bearsden. 3, Amelie McCusker, City of Glasgow. 4, Caitlin Hamilton, Lanark. 5, Catherine Simpson, South Ayrshire. 6, Katie Broadfoot, South Ayrshire. 7, Robin Voice, Grangemouth. 8, Lara Brown, Adrian Monklands. And 9, Samantha Gardner, Ren 96. And this is all quite tight in the pool as they come up to the halfway stage. But I think it's the South Ayrshire swimmer, Katie Broadfoot, who turns first there. Her time 37.50, just ahead of the field. But it's anyone's guess who's going to come in behind her. It's very tight for second. So Katie turns third. It looks like it might just be Amelia from the City of Glasgow who turned in second. But after that turn, the girls in lanes 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 pretty much in a line. It's anybody's. But Katie comes in to finish her race today, and I think it's going to be lane 4 who'll touch second. Caitlin Hamilton. So Katie's time 1:16.21. Caitlin Hamilton, you pardon, 1:18.74, and it was Amelie McCusker who got the touch for third at 1:19.08. Katie Broadfoot, Caitlin Hamilton, Amelie McCusker, 1, 2 and 3.
Just coming back to the 1, 2, 3 in pool 1 in our third heat. First was Abigail Crawford, 5:41.55. Second, Emily Dickens, 5:47.66, both from City of Glasgow. And Amber Hinton from Dumfries, 11-year-old from Dumfries, finished in 6:02.73. All these girls taking a big chunk off their entry time. That's all the action in pool 1 for the morning. Big thanks to the technical officials and our referees, starters, at the bottom end of the pool near the scoreboard.
Okay, we return to the 50s, 50 breast in pool 2. 0 lane is Lewis McDonald. 1, Lewis Gardner. 2, Reese Hamilton. 3, Oliver Cartwright. 5, Ross McGee. 6, Keenan Smith. 7, Misha Hanazorov. 8, Abdi Mufti. And 9, Douglas Orman. Orrod. And coming up to win that is Misha in lane 7. And time there was 35.05. And behind him you've got Ross McGee with 36.74. And then Keenan Smith with 36.34. And that's confirmed. Misha in first, 35.05, then Ross, and then Keenan for second and third place.
So event 607, the girls 50-metre breaststroke. We have 2 swimmers in heat 1. There are 2 heats this morning. No swimmer in lane 3. Lane 4, Abby Stevenson. And 5, Roisin McLaughlin. And at the turn, it's Roisin McLaughlin, the 15-year-old from Lanark, who turns first, ahead of Abby. As Roisin comes down to finish her race this morning and to the closing stages. I think that's going to be the finishing order. It's too much for Abby to do to catch her, so it's Roisin's going to touch first. Her entry time 47.10, and she touches out first in 43.05. Abby Stevenson 46.10, both an improvement on their entry times this morning. Just some results. Event 601, first place 15-year-old 100 IM. First, Grace Noonan, Milngine Bears Den. Second, Amy Watson, South Ayrshire. Third, Emily Taylor, South Ayrshire. So again, some results here. Event 601, the women's 16-year-old 100 IM. First place, Catherine Simpson, South Ayrshire. 2, Holly Hopkins, South Ayrshire. And 3, Erin Collins, Grangemouth. Women's 17 and older, first place, Caitlin Hamilton, Lanark. Second, Samantha Gardner, Wren 96. Event 601, the men 15 years and older, 100 IM. First place, Ross Carswell, Lanark. Second, Freddie Mills, Stirling Swim. Third, Ian Henderson, Lanark.
Okay, heat 2, lane 0, Emily Miller. Lane 1, Catherine Simpson. Lane 2, Iona Liddell. Lane 3, Holly Hopkins. Lane 4, Elizabeth Doubleday. No swimmer, lane 5. Lane 6, Robin Voss. Lane 7, Evie McCulloch. Lane 8, Sanjana Guanawitrama. Lane 9, Christy Bell. So we have the Glasgow swimmer in lane 3, Holly, taking a bit of a clear lead there, and is going to touch. Sorry, that's lane 4, Elizabeth Doubleday taking that lead. And then second, we have lane 3 and Holly. Yep, so just just waiting for the results there. Sorry, I can't see Doubleday. Yeah, that's Libby Elizabeth Doubleday at 37.97. And then second, Holly Hopkins, 41.35. And third was Catherine Simpson.
And we move on to event 608, the boys 15 and over 100 freestyle. We have empty lane 0, lane 1, Chris Harvey, Scotia. Empty lane 2, lane 3, Ben Grant, City of Glasgow. 4, Murray McGregor, Rutherglen. 5, Rhys Hamilton, Mulgines Bears Den. 6, Douglas Ormrod, Lanark. 7, Fraser Matthey, North Ayrshire. And 8, Alexander Kloska, Airdrie and Monklands. And at the halfway mark, it's the Mulgine Bears Den swimmer, Rhys Hamilton, who is leading the field. He turned there at 30.39. Behind him, Alexander Kloska. And the City of Glasgow swimmer, Ben Grant, lying in second. But at the final turn there, Rhys Hamilton is heading for home. Lane 8, Alexander Kloska. Fallen back, and it's over in lane 3. Ben Grant, City of Glasgow, going to touch second. Anybody's? Let's see who touched third. I think that was lane 4. We'll look for the scoreboard for that confirmation. I think Murray just touched there in third. I'll wait for the scoreboard to confirm the final results. Lane 8, disqualification, technical infraction. And the results are confirmed. Rhys Hamilton, 104.42. Ben Grant, 106.66. And Murray McGregor, 108.91.
Okay, in final heat, we have lane 0, Magnus Morris from Wren 96. Lane 1, Lewis McDonald, Motherwell. Lane 3, Logan Smith, Motherwell. Lane 4, Andrew Mackenzie, Stirling. Lane 5, Lex Garrett, South Ayrshire. Lane 6, Benjamin Jones, Lanark. No swimmer, lane 7, 8, Ross McGee, Rutherland, and 9, Freddie Mills in Stirling. And that's Magnus Morris there in lane 0, taking an early lead, but very close with lane 5 and 4, Andrew and Lex. In fact, the middle 3 swimmers, with Benjamin joining the pack there, have now taken over in lane 0. So we have lane 4 looking at taking it with Andrew. Then lane 5 was Lex. And then between Benjamin and Magnus for lane 4, or place 4. So we'll see with the scoreboards. Yep, there's Andrew confirmed at first place, 59.18. Then Lex, 59.69. And then Benji got the third. I just missed his time there.
And the final event of this morning in Pool 2 is event 609, the girls 15 and over 100-meter freestyle. We have 3 swimmers this morning in the pool. In lane 2, Lucy McBean, Milngine Bearsden. Lane 3, Alex McCluskey, Adrian Monklands. Empty lane 5. Lane 4, I beg your pardon. Lane 5, Christy Bell, Adrian Monklands, and an empty lane 6. So as we come up to the halfway mark, I think it's lane 3 is just going to turn first, just a tad ahead of the field there, and Alex McCluskey, 39.09. And she's leading as we come up to the 75-meter mark. And just while we're doing that, I'll announce the results of event 601, the men's 16 years to 100 IM. First place, Benjamin Jones, Lanark. Second, Gregor Bryson, Adrian Monklands. And third, Ross McGee, Ruther Glen. The men 17 and over. First place, Andrew Mackenzie, Stirling Swim. And second, Murray McGregor, Ruther Glen. Going back to the pool, it is lane 3. Alex McCluskey, who took the early lead and has maintained that. And she's going to touch and finish her race. First, 1:24.10. Alex's entry time, 1:24.55, so an improvement on that. And in behind her, Lucy McBean, 1:27.24, and Christy Bell, 1:27.58.
Okay, in the second heat, full house here. Lane 0, Sarah Armstrong, Grangemouth. Lane 1, Abby Stevenson, South Ayrshire. Lane 2, Ala Von Meller in Glasgow. Lane 3, Chloe Mason. Lane 4, Sanjana Wigrama. Lane 5, Laura Carrigan. Lane 6, Macy Law. Lane 7, Freya McRoberts. Lane 8, Emily Miller. And lane 9, Evie McCulloch. Okay, as we come up to the first 50, looks like Sanjana has got the first to turn, followed closely by Laura and Macy in lane 5 and 6. But to be fair, we've got two. This looks like a fight for Glasgow there in lane 2, 3, and 4. Sanjana is still going out in the lead, but is now getting taken over actually by number 7, Emily McMiller. This is a really close heat. Can Sanjana pull away with Freya following her? I think Freya might just be pulling back and letting number 5 take over Laura. Yeah, it was Sanjana got it, then I think Laura got it at 6, but we'll wait for the scoreboard to confirm. Lane 2. Okay, Sanjana managed to get that in first, 113.33. Then Laura in 114.52, and Ayla with 114.99 as third place. Good swimming.
And the final heat of the morning's programme in Pool 2. Heat 3, Lane 0, Rosin McLaughlin, Lanark. 1, Eva Fair, Milngine Bearsden. 2, Claudia Dalshaw, Adrian Monklands. 3, Emily Taylor, South Ayrshire. 4, Katie Broadfoot, South Ayrshire. 5, Iona Little, Grangemouth. 6, Cassia Mancini, South Ayrshire. 7, Amy McGregor, West Dumbartonshire. 8, Lara Brown. 9, Connie Heron, both Adrian Monklands. And at the halfway mark, not a lot to call between lanes 3 and 4. Emily Taylor and Katie Broadfoot, both South Ayrshire swimmers. And behind them, 3rd and 4th, very fiercely battled, but I think over in lane 0, she turned behind the 2 South Ayrshire swimmers. But after that turn, and the girls head for home. It's the Western Bartonshire swimmer, Amy McGregor, Cara Mancini pulling ahead. So first place goes to Emily Taylor, second Katie Broadfoot, and third, close to call. We'll wait for the scoreboard to confirm that. Looks like it was Cassia Mancini. Just wait for the final official results. As I say, that's the last event in Pool 2 this morning. That completes the morning's racing in both pools. We are back this afternoon for the final session of the weekend. The warm-up will start at just shortly, in fact, due to start at 11 a.m. It's just past 11 a.m. now. So thank you very much to everyone who has joined us this morning. Thank you to the spectators for coming along, to our officials, all volunteers without whom the meet couldn't proceed, to the coaches, our swimmers, and for those of you on live stream, thank you very much also for joining us. So I will say goodbye just now for the morning session from myself, Jackie Smith, Wendy Kirk and Robert Taylor, and hopefully you can all join us for the afternoon session, which will get going at around 11:45 this morning.